AITA for telling my parents they became liars the second they started fostering their adopted daughter. NTA, if they wanted a different public account of their actions, they should have acted differently when given the chance. They can make and live with their decisions, but they don't get to lie about OP and have her not respond with the truth. NTA, this seems to be the evening for people to wonder if they are the Oz because their parents failed to protect them from step-siblings or other types of blended families that didn't work out. Well, your parents did you a grave disservice when they chose to adopt Amy over your protests, and then lied about it to cover up the fact that you hadn't wanted her in your family because she bullied you. That just stinks. Your outlook on this isn't selfish. It's self-defense. The only thing you owe is to yourself. To make yourself a life you will enjoy and thrive in. I'm glad you got out of the situation as soon as you could. You don't owe your parents anything, including your own lies to make them look better for having lied themselves. NTA. Your parents are narcissists who prioritize the feel-good emotions and social currency they get from fostering over the feelings of their own children. I can't believe how damaging it must have been to have your tormentor taken into your safe space. What they did is unforgivable. They allowed you and your brother to be bullied in your own home and safe space. They also took a vulnerable foster kid into a home with a kid she, for whatever reason, had problems with, which can't have been healthy for her either. It's shitty from every angle. You should check out the Raised by Narcissists sub. NTA. Your parents failed to protect you, the most basic and lowest bar of parenting. If anyone was selfish, it was them. What the heck is wrong with them? Why on earth would you actively choose to foster a child who had been bullying your own, and not do their utmost to protect her? NTA. If their reputation is tanking because of OP's honesty, it's the least they deserve. AITA for leaving the hospital after my sister gave birth and announced the name of her baby? Removed. NTA. Keeping your preferences secret is not gatekeeping names. The names exist without you, and you don't owe anyone else your ideas. It sounds like she deliberately searched out your preferred name so she could use it to spite you, and rub it in that she can use it while you so far can't. What a malicious way to bring a child into the world. And now of course she makes your provoked reaction about how that hurts her. I don't know how you get past this. With her, your sister sounds extremely toxic. NTA's not gatekeeping if she found the name by being rude and looking through your personal space. I can't help but wonder what the baby's father thinks of the name and if he knew how OP's sister found the name. HMMMMMNTA. Now, this subreddit, including yours truly, is a big supporter of "we don't fucking own names." And that's true, but your sister was acting incredibly out of line here. The snooping, calling you out for not talking about the names ever and choosing the name that she specifically got the idea of from snooping without so much as a conversation is completely unacceptable. I truly hope you get to use your chosen name. After all, she doesn't own it either. And many families have multiple members who have the same name. AITA for blaming my wife after I got fired. Info. Did you and your wife discuss how to get a hold of her after the first instance? Did you discuss alternate arrangements, i.e. someone else who could pick up? A family member? Backup babysitter? This story reads like it was a problem. You knew it was a problem. Nobody talked about it. And boom, fired. Boom. In the last 2 months, you both knew this was an issue. But you didn't find alternatives for when you can't get a hold of your wife? Esh. You should have had a contingent plan, like a babysitter on standby or a family member who could have picked them up in an emergency like this. You all dropped the ball on this. But I don't think it's fair to blame only your wife. You knew she was impossible to reach. Like I said, should have been a contingency plan in place. You too need to find a new place for your child to go to preschool. A place that can handle him and where he will be separated from the other boys he's feeding off. That said, your wife is a doctor. That's not a frivolous job, and she can't just stop seeing patients to pick up your child. This is not to say your job isn't important, but hers is in healthcare, which is not that type of job you can just pick up and leave. You are a jerk for blaming her, but it doesn't seem like she's finding reasonable solutions either. Why not a nanny who is on call to pick up your child? A family friend? It's like you two haven't thought of the basic solutions to this problem. Leaving him in the daycare with his friends who he acts up with was not a great plan at all. Is it normal for daycare to ask parents to pick children up because of behavior? How bad was his behavior? I'm in the UK and have worked as a nursery practitioner since 17. Only leaving last year at 24. But we never asked parents to come pick up the child due to behavior. Only if they were extremely sick and not themselves. Also, were you working with the nursery to correct said behavior? It personally feels like the nursery could have done more in terms of helping you guys navigate this phase. Only because that is what would have been expected as me as a practitioner in the UK. That's interesting. Soft Ash. Only because I think you both should have had a backup plan so that your jobs weren't at risk. Though I understand that some people just don't have the support when needed. And we don't know if that's your case here. Daycare problem. If they are unable to handle or separate preschoolers, you need to find a new one. AITA for getting drunk instead of babysitting my cousins? NTA. You are now an adult. According to the traditions, the torch of kid supervising has now been handed to the oldest under 17 greater than my 14-year-old sister and 13-year-old cousin are now responsible for them because I can't be trusted. Oh, of course you can't. Because you can drink now. And the younger ones can't. That's the deal. You've been doing this since you were 12. They can't punish you for doing a good job. If the family feel they can't trust the 13 and 14-year-olds, that seems like a them problem. And one of them will have to stay sober instead of changing the rules on the fly for their benefit. NTA, you never agreed to be their free babysitting service. You owe them nothing. NTA. The amount of people commenting on this post shaming regarding alcohol usage. America isn't the only place in the world. Other countries have different societal normals. In Canada, I can drink at 18 in certain provinces. NTA. You followed the tradition and can legally buy and consume certain types of alcohol at that age in Germany without any parental consent. Edit. I just looked at your post history op. I had issues with alcohol at 17 as well. To put it bluntly, legally, you can do this, just like I could. Have you considered meetings or the equivalent? NTA. Your extended family can't force you to be an unwilling, unpaid babysitter. You didn't just abandon their kids. You walked them back to their parents. The parents are responsible for their own kids. Either they need to hire a babysitter, or, yeah, I don't know, maybe not get shit-faced drunk and take care of their own kids? They absolutely can ask you if you're willing to babysit. Better yet, offer to pay you. But you are 100% within your rights to decline.